Hi, and welcome to the Outside Story. Today, we're going to be ranking characters from the Untamed from best to worst. Going into this, we know that we have many unpopular opinions, but it's an opinion and you're welcome to have yours as well. Your opinions are just wrong.
We have randomized the order in which we reveal the characters so that the main characters don't get all clumped up into the beginning or the end. Some characters are also missing. We felt like these characters weren't important enough to garner their own spot. Yep, that's right. We're looking at you, Lan Yi. These rankings are also only based on the live-action drama and does not take into consideration the donghua, audio drama, or novel. One last thing, we're going into spoiler territory.
Now, that's out of the way, let's start with our first character, Shui Young. Shui Young is definitely one of the better villains. Actually, he's one of the better characters in this drama. He feels like a direct nemesis of Wei Wuxian. They are both similar in temperament, they have a playful, humorous, trickster personality. It's just that Wei Wuxian is good, and Shui Young is, well, evil. By having Shui Young in the story, we essentially get to see what Wei Wuxian could really become if he was also truly evil. Shui Young's story with Shashing Chen and Qing also give his character some great depth. We'll put him closer to best than to worst.
Next, we have Lan Yi, or as we like to call her, Rabbit Lady. Rabbit Lady, like most of the female characters, ends up dying. So that's unfortunate because we'd love to see a female clan leader. Nevertheless, she was still an awesome leader of the Gusu Lan sect and created the cord assassination technique. She overestimated her ability, which is understandable when people don't believe in you. Sound familiar, Wei Wuxian? But she was able to save the Yin middle from being discovered by baddies. Her story is tragic, but we really like her, so we're gonna scoot her on over above Shui Young.
Next on the list is Wen Qing. Wen Qing is the best female character on the show and one of the best female characters we've seen in a long time period. She meets a tragic fate like many of her other female counterparts, but when she is alive, she cares deeply for her brother and her clan, bringing them out of their unlucky fates not once, but twice. Unfortunately, she's not able to save them a third time. Not only is she a fearless leader, she is also the best doctor in the whole Untamed world. She is able to help Wei Wuxian restore Zhang Cheng's golden core, and she promises to keep the process a secret, keeping this promise to her death. We would have all loved to see Jiang Cheng and Wen Qing together, but we'll talk more about that when we get to her beloved. We absolutely love Wen Qing, so we'll scoot her way towards best.
Following Wen Qing, we have Jiang Fengmian, or as we like to call him, the Jiang clan leader. The Jiang clan leader is, surprisingly, one of the better characters in the Untamed. Most of the other clan leaders at the time of his authority were kind of selfish and out to save their own skins. The Jiang clan leader, on the other hand, was a compassionate leader and loved his kids. Not to mention, he was able to court Lady Jiang. We'll put him after Shui Young, but not too far after.
Next, Ching Young, or as we all know her, Mian Mian. Mian Mian is also one of the best characters in the Untamed. She exiled herself from the Jin clan because they slandered Wei Wuxian instead of trying to figure out the truth. Mian Mian is not only full of integrity, but she is also a truth seeker. She is one of the only, if not the only, female character in this show to not die and have a happy ending. She's a mom, a wife, and she hunts demons. Watch out. We'll put her pretty close to the top above the Rabbit Lady, but after Wen Qing.
Up next on the roster, we have Shashing Chen, or as we call him, Blind Dude. Shashing Chen is one of the few heroes in the show that meets a very unfortunate and sad death. After caring for Shui Young, Shashing Chen is tricked by Shui Young to kill his ex-best friend, Song Lan. Not only does Shashing Chen have good character and ideals, he has a tragic bro story too. We send you our feels, Blind Dude. We'll put Shashing Chen after the Jiang clan leader for now.
Following Shashing Chen, we have little Yuen. Yuen was super annoying when he was introduced for the second time. The first time he's a teenager, the second time he's a kid. Although we don't blame him for his circumstances, he played such a weird part in the story, and we didn't know why he was there. Then he gets rescued by Lan Zhan, and it all starts to make a little sense. Teenager Yuen is a lot more fun. He listens, he helps, he exorcises demons. He also has a very understanding spirit, as he is very kind to those he meets, even Wen Qing, who everyone is afraid of. Although Yuan isn't a terrible character compared to the rest of the crew, he's a little farther down the line. Sorry, dude.
Next, we have another odd character, Qing. Qing is an orphan who has had to lie her entire life in order to get by. When she meets Shashing Chen, she starts to change as she befriends him. However, when Shui Young shows up, her fate becomes tragic. Even though she doesn't have that much screen time, her presence is important for multiple character arcs in the main story arc. She's an interesting character, but not great. We'll put her right before Yuan.
Alright. If you followed us this far, you're probably wondering when the big two are going to show up. We finally reached one. Let's talk about Wei Wuxian, or like his brother, he likes to call him.
Wei Wuxian!
We really love Wei Wuxian. He is charismatic, noble, kind, passionate, smart, talented, humble, you name it. He is probably it. Wei Wuxian's story is somewhat tragic too. He tries to do what he thinks is best, but always gets the short end of the stick because he's very straightforward and doesn't think too much about the repercussions of his decisions. Even though he always has the best of intentions, he is quite impatient and somewhat cocky, which causes his actions to harm others and sometimes those that he loves. Even though Wei Wuxian is actually somewhat of a Gary Stu, in other words, a perfect character in the way that he almost always has a solution to every problem. Stuck in a room full of cultivators trying to kill you? Don't worry, Wei Wuxian knows who planned it. Want to figure out why the spirits are restless? Empathy. The problem is that these abilities show up out of thin air and are never discussed between other cultivators until it's irrelevant. Well, regardless of his superpowers, he is very lovable and is a great protagonist with a strong backstory and personality. We'll scooch him way up here. Sorry, Wen Qing.
Now let's talk about Meng Yo, or as we like to call him, Evil Jin Dude. Evil Jin Dude is the big baddie of the final story arc, and arguably the entire main plot. When I first saw him, I knew he was evil. There was something about that smile that makes him untrustworthy. Anyway, Evil Jin Dude is not physically strong, nor does he have good sword cultivation. Instead, he hid his cultivation powers from almost everyone, and then swoops in from underneath to enact his master plan. As the bastard son of one of the most powerful clans, he had a hard time growing up and finding a place to belong. He constantly gets reminded of his mother's status as a courtesan, and this is what fuels him to do what he does. As a character, he is complex and smart, but unfortunately, not smart enough. Because of his story and the evil mastermind that he is, we'll put him a little higher up than most of the other characters.
Speaking of evil characters, next is Wen Chow. We like to call this guy Evil Wen Dude. Evil Wen Dude is a total puppet and is unfortunately a product of his dad and the circumstances of his clan. Even though he could choose not to be evil like Wen Qing, he doesn't. We felt like Evil Wen Dude was kind of a boring character and had no real purpose to serve except to fast forward the main plot. So he's actually going way down here and gets the label of the worst character in the Untamed.
Not far behind, in our humblest opinions, is Jin Zixuan. In the beginning of the drama, this guy is really not likable. He walks around like he owns the place and he isn't compassionate at all to anybody. However, as the story progresses, we actually see that he cares about Jiang Yan Li and Wei Wuxian, even to the point where he's willing to try and stop his cousin from ambushing Wei Wuxian. So he's not that bad after all. We'll put him right after Yuan.
Next on our list, we have Lan Shi Chen. This is Lan Zhan's older, more handsome brother. In the drama, he functions as mostly a character that pushes the plot, but when you look closer, he's a very unique character. He's one of the only characters who is willing to listen to Wei Wuxian despite all the hatred that he receives from the other clans. Not only that, but he's not quick to erase his sworn brotherhood with Evil Jin Dude. He wants to listen to both sides and then make his judgment accordingly because he wants to know the truth. And he does this very patiently. That is very admirable. So, he's going right over here next to Rabbit Lady.
Now for Nie Huaisang, or as everyone calls him, 我不知道. Well, Bujidao is another mastermind character in the TV show. Even though he acts like he Bujidao, he definitely knows what's going on. His plot behind the tomb and behind killing evil Jin Dude are quite ruthless. Similarly to evil Jin Dude, he hides his intelligence, but secretly, he's watching everything and is really clever. Because we tend to like masterminds, we'll put him a little lower than Shui Young.
We can't talk about the Untamed without talking about the other person of the big two, Lan Zhan. We're going to be really honest here. We dislike Lan Zhan's character a lot. Lan Zhan is very cold, standoffish, and has a hard time communicating. He's like Edward from Twilight, but more boring. There are so many times in this TV show where we feel like Lan Zhan's character could have really shined, but instead we're told about the wonderful things he did, and he never really shows us what he could do.
We'll admit that some of the things we were told about through his more handsome big brother are quite admirable and romantic. He searches for Wei Wuxian for 16 years, gets disciplined for protecting the burial mounds, and takes in Yuan, but calls him Lan Si Jue. So okay, he's not all that bad. We just wish they could have shown us all of this instead of telling us in a flashback. It's like saying, hey, your dad isn't a bad dude. He did all of these things in the past for you. Okay, thanks dad. But anyway, because we think Lan Zhan is kind of boring, we'll put him over here, right after Zin Zixuan.
Next, let's talk about Wen Qing. Wen Qing starts off as a really boring character. He is unable to cultivate, and so he always needs protection from his sister, Wen Qing. He's kind of a throwaway character, but he gains some credibility when he sneaks Wei Wuxian into Lotus Pier and helps hide the Jiang siblings from the Wen clan. Then he has a near-death experience and gets healed, becoming known thereafter as the Ghost General. Wen Qing continues to show up as Wei Wuxian's badass bodyguard, but he is still very compassionate and wouldn't harm a fly, unless that fly was going to bite Wei Wuxian. His ability to see Lan Shi Chen or Yuan for who he really is also shows that he cares deeply for those he loves. For that, we'll put him right in between Evil Jin Dude and Mian Mian.
Nie Ming Jue. We like to call him the Nie clan leader. The Nie clan leader is known for being a just leader, and that's why the characters go to him with Shui Young. When Evil Jin Dude betrays him by killing his commanding officer, he does what he believes is right, and sends him away without killing him. Because of Nie clan leader's blade, he starts to gain fervor and begins to lose control of his temperament. In order to become more moral, he even becomes sworn brothers with Lan Shi Chen and Evil Jin Dude. However, Nie clan leader's story is tragic, and he becomes a victim of Evil Jin Dude. We don't think Nie Ming Jue's a bad character, but he's also not Wen Qing either. So we'll put him over here, next to Jin Zixuan.
Let's return to our women characters and talk about Yi Zhuyuan. We'll call her Lady Jiang. Lady Jiang is a very interesting character. She is very harsh on her kids and disciplines them because she loves them. When she has to save Jang Cheng, she ends up sacrificing herself and giving away her weapon, Chu Dian, to her son. In the drama, it's a little unclear as to what she thinks about Wei Wuxian. She says she hates him, but she saves him. We debate a lot over whether this is because she cares for Wei Wuxian or because she wanted Wei Wuxian to protect Jang Cheng. Regardless, Lady Jiang has an interesting backstory and is one of the few women who people fear because she's so powerful. We like her a lot, so we'll put her right next to the other women of the Untamed.
Speaking of women, our next character is Wang Lingjiao. We like to call her Evil Wen Lady. Evil Wen Lady is, essentially, the female counterpart to Evil Wen Dude. But she actually has a backstory. As a servant in the Wen clan, she was able to court her way up the ladder and became the love interest for Evil Wen Dude. However, she's quite despicable, annoying, and very cocky. We don't like her very much, so she's gonna be put right above her lover.
Jin Ling. Jin Ling is very similar to Wang Lingjiao in that he is very annoying. However, as we continue on in the story, we start to know why. Jin Ling's circumstances are super unfortunate and everyone around him reminds him of it. People even call him ill-bred because they believe his birth was an omen to his parents' death. As Jin Ling grows in a relationship with Wei Wuxian, we see them connecting well. So much so that when it's revealed that Mo Xuanyu is Wei Wuxian, Ling can't bring himself to kill him and instead lets him go. The struggle that Ling goes through, his filial piety and revenge for his parents' deaths, face off against his love for his uncle Wei Wuxian. That struggle is what makes him human and makes us like him so much. This is a close one, but he gets to be right after Shui Young.
Next, we'll talk about Ling's mom, Jiang Yan Li. We'll be pretty direct here too. Jiang Yan Li is not a bad character, but the way that her death is written makes absolutely no sense to us. In the beginning of the drama, Jiang Yan Li is a really good character. She balances out Jiang Cheng's harshness and Wei Wuxian's playfulness with her empathy, care, and compassion for her brothers.
However, once Lotus Pier gets attacked, she just disappears all of a sudden and gets put in the back seat for the rest of the show, only to die a death that doesn't make any sense. Why would you go looking for Wei Wuxian in the middle battlefield? Because of her unfortunate death, we're going to put her lower on the list, right after her husband.
Now for the last of the three siblings, Jang Cheng. We'll tell you right now, we think that Jang Cheng is the best character in the Untamed. He's the reason why we kept watching to the very end. His story arc is fascinating and his character develops in ways that we didn't see coming. I thought that he would side with Wei Wuxian, but his responsibilities as clan leader and his responsibility to his parents led him to ultimately hate Wei Wuxian. But as much as he quote hated Wei Wuxian, we see over and over again that Jiang Cheng tries to save him and tries his best to give him a way out. This deep struggle that Jiang Cheng has, having to choose between his responsibilities as a leader and the people that he loves, it's what makes Jiang Cheng such a real and human-like character. His short-lived romance with Wen Qing tells us that he would never be able to choose the people that he loves over his responsibilities. The big reveal about his golden core and his final confrontation with Wei Wuxian were definitely worth waiting for.
During the final confrontation, we learned that it wasn't just Lan Zhan that Wei Wuxian made a promise with. Zhang Cheng reminds us that he was given a promise too. In a way, Zhang Cheng was also searching for Wei Wuxian. Y'all already know that Lan Zhan is jealous of Wei Wuxian's tear wipe on Zhang Cheng's cheek. So, scoot on over Wei Wuxian. This time, Zhang Cheng is surpassing you.
Last, but definitely not least, we have Song Lan. Song Lan's story, like Shashing Chen, is quite tragic. After a complicated mess-up with Shui Young, Song Lan ends up distancing himself from Shashing Chen. However, his deep friendship with Shashing Chen leads him to search for his friend, only to die at his hands. Song Lan, like Shashing Chen, is a very kind and justice-seeking character. For this, we'll put him right next to his BFS.
So there you have it. If you stuck it out this far with us, thanks so much. Remember to like and subscribe for more content. If you think we missed a key character or want to fight us about Lan Zhan, then please comment below and tell us why you think so. Thanks for watching.
Listen to